Welcome to Light Sam's Living, baby, where it's all about light loving and living. In this episode, I want to share my story. I want to share my story of how I went from sick, sad, and depressed to high vibing, loving light, and feeling superb. Superb. Might be backwards, I don't know. But it says superb, you feel me? A couple people been asking me for this video. I think it might be beneficial to share it. So, I don't know where to begin, I don't know where to start. You know, it's uncut and unrehearsed here on Light Sam's Living. So let's just start on page 1. 2 years and 2 months ago, I was depressed. I had chronic fatigue syndrome. I had excessive candida. I had the Chrons disease. Man, I had a multitude of shit. And I brought it all on myself. Through the meats, the dairies, the processed foods, the sugars, the lifestyle choices. All of that I brought it on. So I don't blame a thing. So, what did I do? I got to a point where I was going to the doctors, and the doctors weren't helping me with shit. As a matter of fact, the doctors wanted me to shit in a container for a week, bring it home, bring it to the freezer, you know, put it in the freezer every day to make sure it's good still, good, whatever that means, and bring it into them. Now, I had some roommates, I still have roommates, and some guys, my homies. Last thing I wanted to do was bring this home and say, hey guys, I'm gonna have a bucket of shit in my freezer, our freezer, so don't open it and watch out for it. I crossed the line. I didn't cross it, I stopped it. I didn't go over that line. I said, I'm out of here. I'm taking my health into my own hands. And that was the first of the divine guidance. Now, the first thing I learned when I started researching, when I started breaking the barriers, when I started finding the truth about health, was I found that cancer and other various diseases cannot survive in an alkaline environment. They cannot survive in an oxygen-rich alkaline environment. They love acidic. Anybody with cancer, most people with these diseases, their entire bodies are acidic. There's a pH scale, goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If you're below 7 point something, you're acidic. You gotta crank it up. You gotta crank it up. You gotta get alkaline. All these foods, these breads, these processed shit, the sugars, the meats, the dairies, all that junk, very low on the pH scale, very acidic, goes into your body and creates sludge. It decreases the oxygen, decreases your life force, decreases your life, okay? And body can handle it for a while. I mean, the body's an amazing instrument. This body can do amazing things. It is a self-healing machine. So time goes on, you know, are you gonna break down at 20, you're gonna break down at 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, definitely by 55. I mean, that's where shit really starts cranking. Your enzymes start being depleted, all that. So, it happened to me when I was 24. Well, I mean, I started to get pretty shitty health around 20, 21, 22. And then it just got too far, man. It was just getting, I had anxiety through the roof. Let's add that to the symptoms I had earlier. Anxiety, man. I was checking my heart all the time just to see if it was pumping, like checking my pulse. I mean, it was nuts, man. All these food allergies. I didn't know what to eat. I didn't know. I mean, it was crazy. It was crazy. So, when I found that out, I researched what foods are alkaline, what foods are acidic. Oh, meat's acidic. Oh, dairy's acidic. Boop! Easy. Throwing out the window. I'm curing. I'm healing myself. Done. So, overnight, I was vegan overnight. Cut out the BS. I got myself a green alkalizing powder, started drinking that. Woo! I started really getting me going. It had enzymes, probiotics in it. Started replacing the gut flora with a good gut flora. Really started getting me on point. So automatically going vegan, that I would say took care of 70, 80, 90% of the symptoms. Most of the symptoms were just still mental. My brain and my body was loving the plant food. You know, I swapped out the meat for beans. I threw in the starchy potatoes. You know, I started eating some little salads. Started eating more fruit. And right away, I mean, I was shitting normally again. That's all I had to do. Remove the dairy, remove the meats. I was shitting normal, man. The bowel transit time was decreased, was very much decreased. And that's a problem, people, because most people are 10 to 20 bowel movements behind, blocked up. They got 10 to 20 meals in them, right? I mean, meat alone takes 3 days to digest in this giant, long GI tract that we have. That's why we're not meant to eat meat. Plant eaters have long GI tracts like we do. Lions and other carnivores have very short GI tracts, short, 3, 4, 5, 6 feet or whatever, to pump the meat in and pump it out, because it's decaying and it's growing bullshit and it's, ugh. We got this long GI tract, it just sits and sits and sits. So if you're eating meat 3 times a day, that's already 9 meals you got blocked up in your system, man. Oh, man. Anyways, so that cured a lot of stuff right off the bat. Boom, bada, bing. I was already thinking, bye doctors, I ain't never going back. And then it wasn't much after where weeks went by, I started incorporating more raw foods. Boom. The candida was going away. I could see it being flushed out. Boom. I was happy. I was excited. I was waking up with a smile on my face. No more chronic fatigue syndrome, man. I was pumped. Pumped! Just like right now, man. Full of energy, man. I could, woo! Now don't get me wrong, I can get serene if I want. But I love being pumped, man. So, boom, bada bing, that was gone. Oh, the Chrons disease? See ya, man. No way. That was never coming back, ever. That was... And I didn't even tell a lot of people what was going on, man, because it was so screwed up and nasty, and I didn't even want to talk about it. But I love talking about it now because I know where I came from and I know where I'm going. Woo! Yeah. So, man, that was good. Man, everything. That anxiety, oh, slowly going away, man. That took the longest time, but that's mental. Once I started incorporating the more and more raw foods, oh, man, that was out the window too. Gone. See ya. I was in control of my own brain. I was in control of my own pain. I was in control of my own gain. Hell, I was in control of my own fame. And now I'm here. Famous! Famous to the universe, man. Famous to the most highs. Famous in all my lives. I'm living consecutive lives to all my ties at every single time. You know what I mean? Woo! What have I had today to eat? I've had 2 papayas and a half a watermelon. That's it. Once you clean your body out, once you clean your absorption and assimilation, it's nothing, man. Fruit! Fruit is the best. So, time went on, I noticed what the raw foods were doing. I noticed how they were raising my vibration so high. So a year goes by, I'm on a raw food diet. The past year now, I've been on this raw food diet. And I would never, ever, ever look back. Ever. I know it's what my body needs, requires, desires, and favors. Because I've played around with it. Even the cooked vegan And swapping back and forth, I feel how dense the cooked food is. And I feel it sludge me down. Raw foods are the only thing that my body does not reject. All these other foods slow me down, slow the digestion. And don't get me wrong, I don't go back to all those shitty symptoms I had, but it's a step back. It's an obvious step back, and I can feel it, I can see it, and I can smell it. So, past year, man, raw. And let me tell you, I'm convinced that the body is not designed for cooked foods. Yeah, we may have used it for survival purposes and things to get to certain points. But man, the raw foods are where it's at. On these experiments, when I go back to cooked, man, no way, body kicks it out. When I stay on the raw, boom, the synchronicities come. The life force comes. Once you get yourself so clean, you realize when you put certain foods in your body that they're not meant to be there. You can experiment and you can judge so well. That's the gist of it. Went vegan, bam, 60, 70, 80%. Boo! All the symptoms, all the bullshit, the candida, the chronic fatigue, the Chrons, the depression, the anxiety. Gone when I started to go fully raw, baby. Fully raw. I was getting so much old junk out of me when I started going fully raw. So much junk. So much junk. I could see it. I know it. It's crazy. And that stuff is backed up in everybody, man. 98, 99% of people. Because most people are eating a cooked diet and a SAD diet at that. The standard American diet is literally abbreviated SAD. It's telling you right in your face, SAD, SAD, SAD. Get off the SAD diet, man. Get off the meats, get off the dairy. Raise your pH level. Get out of that acidic area and go in to the alkaline. Shit, I think I may have had stomach cancer. I didn't go further back for those tests, man. Who knows what I had? But what I do know is I cured it with the raw vegan diet, with the mentality of love and light, with the fresh air, with the exercise, with the love and the guidance from the Most Highs, because I would not be here without the guidance and the love from the Most Highs. Something put me on this path for a reason. I had to hit rock bottom and have shitty life, I was covering it up with whatever, man. Weed, drugs, booze, liquor, covering it up, just to have a good day, just to move it on. And now, I'm higher than I ever been. I'm higher than I ever been off any of that stuff. And this high never comes down. You never come down and you never frown. So get on the raw food diet and flip your lifestyle. Get on the raw food diet and flip your lifestyle upside down. Oh, and you will be filled with light. You will be filled with abundance. You'll be filled with love. And you'll see the bullshit go out. You'll see the mucus go out. And this is how the human body was meant to live. Cooked food, cooked life, cooked emotions. Sun-fired food, sun-fired life. Raw foods, living foods to feel alive. I love y'all. From the bottom of my heart. If you have any questions about this transition, going from the SAD to the vegan to the raw, hit me up.